Hey, what's happening, everybody? How are we feeling on this Wednesday? Happy Wednesday to you all. I'm feeling good. I'm doing fantastic. I'm sure Raiders fans are feeling a sense of joy and relief knowing Josh McDaniels is finally gone. Good riddance. He's out. He is no longer the head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. It's a start for a lousy Raiders team. The reality is that he shouldn't have been hired in the first place. I didn't think he was the right guy for the job ever. Dave Ziegler, either. He wasn't the right man for the job. The general manager was also relieved of his duties. It's about damn time Mark Davis cleans house. It's about damn time that he moves on from Josh McDaniels. I don't know what he was waiting for. I really don't know. I know that Josh McDaniels was under a big contract. When the Raiders hired McDaniels in January 2022, I questioned the Raiders on their decision to bring him on as the head coach. I think we all questioned it, right? We all had our questions about this hire. This is a guy who can't lead men. He may be extremely bright in some areas, but he doesn't attain the qualification a coach needs to be successful in the NFL. He doesn't. I think Tom Brady made him look good as an offensive coordinator in New England. And for someone who had a bad stint with the Broncos, I don't even understand why the Raiders experimented. I don't understand it. Like, why do you even touch this guy? This was a debacle. This was a disaster. McDaniels was a debacle and a disaster in Denver. I'm surprised he lasted as long as he did, that Mark Davis actually tried to give this man time to turn it around. He tried to give this regime time to turn it around. But Davis, I will say this, Davis is a savage. The timing of this firing, you mean to tell me you fire a man while he's out probably trick-or-treating with his kids on Halloween? Wow, that is a savage move right there. That's a bit classless, don't you think, to fire this man on Halloween, right? At 1 a.m. Just 25 games into a 6-year contract worth around $60 million. Josh McDaniels has been fired. I will say this. This was certainly surprising to all of us when we woke up this morning, especially with Mark Davis and how he runs his business. Financially, you would think they would not get from underneath a $60 million contract with $40 million roughly still owed after this season. But Mark Davis, quite obviously, couldn't take it anymore. He couldn't take it anymore. He had it with him. I think Raider Nation has seen enough. It was time to move on. It was time to send McDaniels packing. It was time to say bye-bye. They should have said bye-bye a long time ago. They should have fired him at the end of last season. I kept saying that. The truth is, again, he should have never been hired in the first place. My good friend Frankie, who I'm shouting out in this video, messaged me early this morning that McDaniels and Ziegler had been canned. And I responded back to him. It lasted just one full season. But that was more than enough time to turn it around. I don't know. Maybe by now I think Davis knows he screwed this up royally, so he had to make a change. I was half asleep when I responded to my friend's message, when I responded back, and I remember saying, all these overnight moves, man, it's crazy what's happening here. But everything about Josh McDaniels sucked. His coaching style, his acumen, his play calling, his leadership, his management of the game, he just sucked. He's not built to be a head coach in the National Football League. And the Raiders, a change was desperately needed, and they finally pulled the plug quick quickly this time. The Raiders are 3-5 this season and 9-16 since McDaniels took over in 2022. Las Vegas has failed to score more than 19 points on offense in a game this season. I mean, lousy, just terrible. But I can see now that Tom Brady made this guy look good. All right? I'm not even sure if we can sit here and say he's a great offensive coordinator. Will he run back to Bill Belichick? Will Bill Belichick open the door and let him come back as the offensive coordinator? People are saying that he's going to end up back in New England as the offensive coordinator under Bill Belichick. I don't know. I wouldn't even hire him as an offensive coordinator because you saw his play calling. Some of the play calls were just questionable. Like, dude, what the hell are you doing? It was some WTF moves, you know? And I just think Josh McDaniels is not cut out for the job. Like, no, he should never be a coach ever again in the National Football League. Thanks for watching, everybody. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. We'll talk very soon.